Hello? Do you have your graphic calculator? Yeah, Kevin, is my graph correct? For x greater than -2, correct? Huh? Okay, so my purpose is here is not to teach you how to sketch the graph. My purpose here is to teach you what is first principle. Okay, can you tell me what is the coordinate at point A? Okay, never mind. We just let point A be any point. Oh, sorry. This is my point B. This is my point A. Okay, now if you look at the graph, it's the stiffness of the function. Okay, I call this function fx. Okay, this is my function fx. Is the stiffness of the function fx is the same at point A and point B?
Teacher, what if your A is like lower a bit?
Never mind. I just want for illustration purposes. Can or not?
Oh, okay.
For illustration purposes, I don't want to draw it so close. Okay, may I know, is the stiffness at point A and B the same?
No.
No. Okay, which is steeper?
A.
Okay, this is my first question. So the answer is no. A is steeper. Right? Okay, so is the gradient at A and B positive or negative? Is the gradient at A and B positive or negative?
Negative.
Chris, negative. Why you say negative?
From left to right, it goes downward.
Yeah, from left to right, it goes downward. Okay, the gradient is negative because when x is increasing, y or my fx is decreasing. Am I right? So from the graph, I also can make this conclusion. Okay, from A to B, fx is decreasing with what rate? With increasing rate or decreasing rate? Chunyi.
Teacher, can you please repeat the question?
Okay, from A to B, fx is decreasing with increasing rate or decreasing rate?
Increasing rate.
Why you say increasing rate?
Because x is become bigger.
Okay, when you talk about the rate, Okay, so now I want to introduce to you, when we talk about the rate, we are talking about changes of y over changes of x. That is referring to the gradient. So this is what every one of us have to understand. What do you mean by gradient? It's the rate of change of y with respect to x. Hello? So, Chunji, can you tell me, from A to B, fx is decreasing with increasing rate or decreasing rate?
Decreasing rate.
Yeah, decreasing rate, because it's less steep. The decreasing here represent negative gradient. The decreasing rate means you talk about the steepness of the graph at certain point. So now everyone, are you clear? What is the meaning of gradient? So we know that for this particular function, the gradient at certain instant keep changing. Agree with me? So how are we going to find? So now my issue is how to find the gradient at point B. Now I'm going to give you point B. I'm going to give you a coordinate 1 over 3. How am I going to find? Anyone have any idea? And this one, we call it instantaneous N-E-O-U-S without E. Instantaneous rate of change. Yeah, someone answer me. You use differentiation, and we know that we instantaneous rate of change, we use dy over dx. Am I right? Hello? If you have learned that before. Okay, now, so today we are not going to talk about, so now how, another question is, how to get this expression? Of dy dx. Now it's a big question mark. So when you talk about first principle, that means it's a principle that help us to derive to this. So first principle, it will involve something called limit. Okay, so you understand this thing already? So we are going to get into the real stuff of first principle. Can I?
Yes.
Okay, so now we are going to get into first principle. So now I have this function. So I exaggerate a little bit so that I can make my explanation. Okay, this is my point B. This is my point. Okay, I just name it point C. Okay, my point B. Okay, never mind. I name according to just now that we have. Sorry. I name this point B. And I name this point C, okay? So B is a point. Just now I put 1 and 1/3. Okay, so now So if I join point B to point C with a straight line, okay, if I join point B to point C with a straight line, so what is BC, straight line BC called? Agree? Agree with the name that we give? You still remember when you talk about circle, when you join 2 points on the curve with a straight line, that is called a chord. Okay, point C, I call it 1 plus h. Okay, the x coordinate for point C is 1 plus h. So may I know what is the y coordinate of point C? Christopher.
Yep.
May I know if point C, the x coordinate is 1 plus h, may I know what is the y coordinate? May I know what is the y coordinate for point C? Or we call it f1 x1 plus h. Christopher, please.
Is it fx?
Yeah, okay. So now tell me what to write and how to write.
Is it 1 plus 1 over x plus 1 over
1,
x plus 2?
yeah, 1 plus h plus 2. Am I right?
Yep.
So this is equal to 1 over 3 plus h. So my point B is x equal to 1. My F1 is equal to 1 over 1 plus 2, which is 1 over 3. Am I right? Okay, now, if I find the gradient of the chord AB, BC. Okay, find the gradient of the chord BC. Do you know how to find? Do you know how to find the gradient of a straight line? Yes, you use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So everyone, can you please start to find the gradient of the chord BC? Okay. Y2, you can take this as x2, y2. You can take this as x1, y1. So I have y2 is 1 over 3 plus h. Take away, y1 is 1 over 3. Then I divided by x2 is 1 plus h. Take away 1. Okay, can you please simplify that? Still remember, I got teach you this. You can either write it this way. Yeah. Or if you prefer, you can also write it the other way, depend on your preference. For me, I would prefer to write it this way. I prefer to write like that. Okay. Hello? So after you have written either this way or this way, your choice, then you simplify it further. So how to simplify this? Yeah. So this one, you can learn from the method that you make the denominator the same. Correct? So here will be 3 minus, please remember, if whenever the bottom is more than one term, you please bracket it up to prevent any error. Are you okay? So far, any question? Okay, so when you, yes? No question, huh? Okay, so when I expand, I have negative h here divided by 3 plus h times 1 over h. Yeah, so now you can simplify your h. Correct? Can I cancel off? Okay, so this one I left with negative 1 over 3 plus h. Same go with here, you also can do it. Yeah, so I leave it to you, whichever method you want to use. Okay, so now what does the slope of a chord BC represent? So I'm going to tell you, whenever we take the first point and the last point to calculate, in maths is always called average rate of change. So slope of chord BC is the average. Remember, this one very important. The word average. Oh, sorry. Average. Rate of change from x equal to 1 to x equal to 1 plus h. So you have to mention what is the average of change is from where to where. So this is very important. You cannot just say slope of a chord BC is the average rate of change. You will get 0. Remember, you have to specify from point B here to point C. Are you okay? So what is the meaning of the slope of a chord? Is the average rate of change from x equal to whatever value you are talking about to another value you are talking about. Okay? So far, any question? Okay. So why we need to find the average? So average rate of change is some sort of like estimation. Yeah. So now let's see what happened. That is where limit come in. As this one, as C moves along the curve, to B, what happened to the value of H? This is H, agree with me? What happened to the value of H? As C moves along the curve to B, that means as C approaches B, that is called as C approaches B. I know decrease. So if I say as C approaches B, what will happen to H? Approaches what? Zero. Correct. So therefore, the gradient of chord BC will approaches the rate of change at B, or we call it the gradient of the tangent at B. Okay, so how we write in maths, all this whole thing, okay, this is I explained to you. So this whole thing, we just use approaches, we use limit, and we write down this at the bottom. So limit h approaches 0 doesn't mean h is 0. Okay, so now this is our expression for the slope of the chord. Am I right? So I write down -1/3 plus h. So now this is -1/9. So this is called gradient of tangent to the curve y equal to 1/x plus 2 at x equal to 1. Hello? Or we call it the instantaneous rate of change. So now, this is how we get the gradient at a certain point of the graph using first principle. So when you talk about first principle, okay, you can go by formula or you can go by this one. After you look at the book, you will look at it. For me, I prefer to do it this way. First of all, I have to find the gradient of the chord. Why? I have to know the average rate of change first. So this step is a must to do. When you talk about first principle, okay, I will mark it in green. Sorry. So from this step onward, okay, I prefer to calculate step by step. This one, until here. Okay, this one, this whole thing. Okay, this is explanation. I tell you that is the average you have to remember, because sometime in the exam I will ask you, explain the meaning of the slope of a chord. So this is the meaning of the slope of the chord. Okay. So this is, so then you have to write down this one. Then until here you get. So this, the one I tick in green, these are everything that is talking about first principle. The first principle is start from the basic principle, we get the slope of a curve at any point, or we call it instantaneous rate of change. So everyone, are you okay?
Teacher, I got a question.
Yeah, what question is that?
For gradient of chord, to find the gradient of the chord BC, right? How your 1 plus h minus 1 become h1?
how my 1 plus h minus 1. 1 minus 1, 0. H. Hello, young man.
Oh, if you open
don't-
bracket, then can 1 minus 1.
Why not?
Oh,
Young
okay.
man,
Sorry,
you don't
sorry, sorry.
frighten Miss Doe. You don't frighten Miss Doe, okay? Okay. So that means, okay, I just want to know. I just want to let you know. This part, whereby you need to simplify, correct? You have to learn up the technique. This is one of the technique. Yep. Okay, so every time when I want you to use first principle, I will always state by using first principle. Clear? Okay, let's try. So you remember the step already? So we'll go through a few times, then you will be able to remember. Yeah. So I'm going to come up with one more question. Okay, I will say by using first principle. I always will make this statement. Find the instantaneous rate of change of y equal to x squared plus 2 at x equal to negative 3. Okay, so what we do is we follow our step. Okay, later you look at the textbook, you want to follow the formula, is up to you. Okay, we will talk about that later. So now we pick 2 points. So the first point, up to you how you want to label. My first point, I name it A. I don't have the graph, it's fine. A, so my x is equal to negative 3. So what is my y? Bear in mind, now everyone, you cannot use graphic calculator. No calculator for SAT1. So now we tentatively say bye-bye to the graph calculator first. Okay, so I want to find my y coordinate. So I substitute negative 3 squared plus 2. So the answer is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. Okay, so then I put my another point. You can name it point B, point C, up to you. PQ, up to you. So the x for this point will be whatever x I have here, I plus a h. Can or not? Okay, h means the small change. Yeah, if you study in O level MX, you all use, instead of using h, you use delta x. Okay, so it's the same story. Yeah, okay, so now, so what is the y coordinate then? Okay, what is the y coordinate? Ishan, is it? Ishan, what is the y coordinate? How should I substitute?
Negative 3 plus h power of 2.
Yeah, negative 3 plus h square plus 2. Okay, now, in this case, if you want to expand it, go ahead and expand. So now you have to expand it. So you expand it. Still remember how to expand square? So now it's good for you to know all this expansion. And you have to remember, for SAT1, you are not allowed to bring in any handwritten notes. So you have to memorize. If I have a plus b squared or a minus b squared, so I have a squared minus or plus 2ab plus b squared. For cubic, you remember how to expand cubic? So it's a cubed plus 3a squared b plus, hello, binomial expansion. Hello. This one got 3 terms. This one will have 4 terms. Plus 3ab squared plus b cubed. So these are the few ones you have to remember. Yep. Okay. So I leave it to you to memorize the expansion of quartic and cubic. Okay. So this one, a negative 3 squared will be 9 plus minus 3 times 2 is 6 h plus h squared plus 2. So I simplified this. I got 11 minus 6h plus h squared. So this is the y coordinate. So next step, what should I do? Next step, what should I do? Just now, Amanda? Amanda, you have any idea? So A and B, you join, you get a chord. Amanda, next step, what should I do?
Find the gradient.
Yeah, you okay? Amanda say gradient, I write gradient. Gradient of what?
Gradient
Of what? Gradient at the point x equal to negative 3? Or gradient of what? You cannot just write gradient, gradient of what?
chord AB.
Thank you. Chord AB. So we use our y2 minus y1 divide by x2 minus x1. Correct? Okay, now you start to simplify. Please, I give you some time to simplify. Have you simplified? Okay. So I'm going to call someone to give me the simplified version. Yi Xuan.
H minus 6.
H minus 6. That means Yi Xuan, you do this first. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Then after that, you factorize out the H. Then you cancel off. Yep. So at the end, you got negative 6 plus H. Or Yi Xuan say H minus 6. Also can, nothing wrong. Okay. Then next step, what should we write? We will write limit. Okay, we will write. Okay. Limit dy dx equal to limit h tend towards 0 slope or gradient, up to you, of chord AB. So limit h tends towards 0, h minus 6. So I got negative 6 here. Are you okay? So if I come out this question in the SAT one, that is how we ask this whole question. Then this will be our part A. Then part B, we will ask you state the meaning, the state the geometrical meaning of -6. When I say geometrical meaning, very important, geometrical meaning is a must to answer. You cannot say instantaneous rate of change. Although here I ask you to find instantaneous rate of change. But when I say geometrical meaning, geometrical things is always talking about area, length, okay, distance, gradient. So we have to say -6 is the gradient to the curve y equal to x squared plus 2 at x equal to what? -3. Fail to mention this, you get 0 mark. You have to tell me -6 is the gradient to the what curve at which point. So this whole question in your SAT 1 will be 5 marks. So how do we allocate the mark? We allocate the mark in this way. I'm not trying to be very exam orientated. Why? I'm not, because this part I really explain to you what is the meaning. Okay, then I just want to let you know your SAT 1 sure got 1 question. So you better practice and get it prepared. What type of question I'm going to ask, you will know. Okay, so that is how we mark. The part A, you will have 4 marks. Part B, you have 1 mark. So all total 5 marks. So when come to simplify here, it depends on the function that I give you. So your algebraic skill come in here. Yeah. Hello? Student? So you can do your exercise 2A already. Any further question? You want to try another one? Okay, I let you try another one. See whether you can do it or not. Okay. Okay. And we try this. If you are done, let me know. Okay. Have you all got the answer? Okay, according to the way I teach you, how the
Yes, yes,
yes, first I must write point A, correct?
yes.
Okay. How to instruct Mr. what to write?
Uh,
Point A, x equal to 2, so I must find the coordinate of y, am I right?
yes.
1 over,
4.
okay, then point B, what should I write my x as?
2 plus h.
So what is my f2 plus h?
1 over 4 plus 2h plus h squared.
Okay, for me, this time round, I don't expand. The reason is because this one is at the denominator. So I don't expand first, I expand later. So that is some key that you have to bear in mind. If the quadratic or the cubic is at the bottom of the fraction, we don't expand first. Can or not?
Can.
To make it easier. So after that, I have to find the gradient of cot AB, am I right?
Yes.
So I put in 1 over 2 plus h square, take away 1 over 4, y2 minus y1 divide by x2 minus x1. So I get 1 over 2 plus h square, take away 1 over 4. This one, you got 1 over h, am I right? You can write it like that if you want to. So now, make it to a single fraction. You some sort like remember cross multiply. Okay, write down the denominator. Okay, now only I expand this, but bottom don't expand. So you have 4 plus 4h plus h squared. The whole thing divided by 4, 2 plus h squared times 1 over h. Okay, then you simplify further. Negative. If you can straight away factorize out the h so that you don't have to write so much. Okay. So you see, simplified part is your job already. So that is h, negative 4 minus h divided by 4. Don't expand the bottom, please. Okay, so cancel, cancel. So I got negative 4 minus h over 4 into 2 plus h squared. So therefore, so sometimes dy dx you also can write as f prime x. So this means dy over dx at x equal to 2, okay? We have a prime up there, it means that. Clear? So I have to write limit. H tends towards 0. Okay, what you can do is, if you don't want to put slope of a chord, you can straight away write down the formula, the slope of the chord that you have simplified. Okay, so negative 4 over 4 times 4. So you got negative 1 over 4. Clear?
Yes.
So look, the one that we do and this one, is it the same?
Yes.
Yes, it's exactly the same. But for this one, this part is the slope of the chord AB. So they in the exam, they can give you the formula. They ask you, what does that mean? So you have to remember that is the slope of a chord AB. If you can understand this, you will know what they mean. Hello? And it's the average rate of change from x equal to 2 to x equal to 2 plus h. Yeah. So you prefer to use this method A or this method B? Oh, up to you. But method B, if you forgot to write the limit, I will deduct mark while you simplify. You see, when I use method B, correct, a lot of things I simplify in my mind. Do you realize that? So if you are not very good in simplification, I will encourage you to use method A, then method B. So that you don't have to writing the limit. Hello? So now you know in page 29 how the formula come about. The one in the limit, the whole thing, the formula is represent the slope of a chord, which is the average rate of change. Hello? Are you okay? So can you please practice exercise 2A? I got a few more skills to ask you to do. Yeah. So you have more than enough time to do because tomorrow is a public holiday. I will see you on Friday. Class, any question?
Teacher, method A and method B got difference.
No difference, it's just the way you write different, Anima.
Okay.
Don't you find that there's a different way of writing?
I don't know. My brain a bit
Then you go through the video again. Okay? There is a difference. The way you write only. If I just dump you with the formula, you won't know what is the formula all about. You see, I don't dump you with the formula. I start from here. I explain to you why you need to write the limit here. Why there is such a things here. Okay, done?
Miss,
Yes.
you say 2A, you mean the question 2A in the textbook?
Yeah, exercise 2A in page 30. You got
Okay.
that? You see or not? Exercise 2A in page, yeah, page 30, page 31. There are many. Try, okay? And you stretch until 32. Hello?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, you see it, huh? Okay. Enjoy doing it. Thank you, class.
Thank you, Miss.
Or you have
Miss.
any question?
Thank you, Miss. Bye, Miss.
Teacher, sorry, last question. What is LIM?
Limit.
Oh, limit H.
Not the surname, not the surname. LIM is limit.
Oh, you must
Okay.
write that.
Must. If you don't write that, how can? How can? If I didn't translate this into limit, then how can? How can it become the instantaneous rate of change? That is the meaning of limit.
So I must always write limit H approaches 0.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can also write in another way. Wait, I will tell you what to do on Friday. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Miss,
Thank you, teacher.
Miss the dy over dx. What does it means again?
It's the instantaneous rate of change. It's the slope function. Slope.
What's
Gradient.
the
Gradient. Dy dx means small change of y over small change of x. Can or not?
okay? Yeah.
That's why it represents gradient. Anything else?
No. Thank you.
Welcome.
Sure. Why you times 1 over h?
Huh?
Why you
Why I
times
times
by-
1 over h? Because this thing is, you see, I divide by h here, ma?
Where?
There, here. Like for example, I have 5 plus x divided by 6. I can write as 5 plus x times 1
okay.
over 6.
Okay,
Same thing.
yeah. Can you go next slide? Next one. I just wanna look again.
Which slide? This slide.
The next one.
The last one.
The last one, yeah. This one
Okay.
also the times 1 over h. is
Same thing.
simplified.
Same thing here. There. Because here I simplify, it becomes 1 over 2 plus h squared minus 1 over 4 divided by h.
And then the minus 4 minus h over 4 times 2 plus h squared, you differentiated it.
No, I didn't differentiate. I simplify.
Oh, you simplify only.
I simplify only. All these are simplified. I don't do any differentiation yet.
Oh, okay.
But then why
I
you
just
say dy dx?
No, at the end, ma. At the end only I say dy dx, ma. When h approaches 0, then the small change of y over small change of x, ma. This is slope of a chord. You don't 搞亂.
I a
Okay?
bit don't understand, but I
Try.
watch back the video.
Yeah, sure. Good boy.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Mm.